Welcome back aboard the Ginger Armada, where we sail into the deep steps of fantasy. I mean, I don't know if it's really fantasy that we're sailing into today, but...
Absolutely is.
Okay, you're right. Oh, okay, you're right. We are sailing into fantasy today, and speaking of sailing into things, make sure you're on hitting those like and subscribe buttons down below. Thank you so much. I appreciate every single one of you. Without further ado, let's get into it. So I'm going to be talking about my second favorite... Actually, well, the DSV is here with me today. And we're going to be talking about my second favorite live-action Disney movie. And this is actually, there are only 2 live-action Disney movies that I consider good. And again, if you disagree with me, that's fine. Feel free to let me know what your opinion is on them. And there's a fly buzzing around in here, by the way, so you might see a fly wanting its 5 seconds of fame.
Well, I can't really shoot the thing with my bug assault gun because you kind of line up with the direction the bug tries to be lately.
Yeah, I really don't want salt in my eyes.
Nope, and I don't want to shoot you with the salt either.
Yeah. But anyway, we're going to be talking about... And I mean, honestly, it's a pretty close... We're going to be talking about Cinderella. And honestly, my very favorite is Beauty and the Beast. And I will talk about that video. And I will talk about that movie soon. But for now, we're doing Cinderella. And honestly, it's a pretty close tie. Beauty and the Beast beats it out just by a little bit for my favorite. Because Beauty and the Beast has been my favorite forever. But anyway, Cinderella...
We actually... went and saw Beauty and the Beast.
No, we're not talking about Beauty and the Beast right now. Well, you can say that when we talk about Beauty and the Beast.
I'll tell that embarrassing story about you later. Then.
Yes, you can tell that embarrassing story about me later. I'll just edit that part out after. It's fine. So, anyway, so yes, there are only 2 live action movies that we actually think warrant the
acknowledgement.
Yeah. Warrant acknowledgement, and that is Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast. And Cinderella, again, I've already said that's what I'm talking about, so you guys got it. Anyway, so I actually
back when Disney
hold on
understood how to actually cast for a movie,
yeah,
they made Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast.
Yes, and now they don't, but that's a story for another day. Actually, it will probably be brought up again, but that's a story for another minute. So, I actually didn't love the cartoon of Cinderella. I mean, it's not bad, but it was just never my favorite growing up. The live action...
Yeah, honestly, the Prince Charming, he just shows up and he's just, oh, so handsome and oh, so charming. And even though we don't really ever see any actual character out of the guy, he just shows up and has himself a pretty face, and that's about the size of it.
Exactly. Like, that's honestly, I think, my biggest complaint about the cartoon is that the characters are so, apart from Cinderella, but the other characters are so two-dimensional. Like, you just don't get to know them very well.
Yeah, so, you keep in mind, Cinderella is how old in that movie?
I actually don't know, 17 or 18 maybe?
So, between 14 and 18.
Yeah.
And that's the deal. Back in medieval times, and here you have Chica. She been really sheltered, absolutely abused, but really sheltered. And then you have the prince, who there's this chick. Did they meet before the ball in the movie as well, or on the cartoon as well?
Yeah, I think they did. It has been a long time since I've seen the cartoon, but
we might have to brush up on the cartoon.
We might have to. It's gonna fall flat compared to the live action.
Yeah, the live action one. Honestly, there are some things here and there and over there that they didn't do quite to my highest, most exacting standards. But when I just say it's a fantasy, does it say a time and place? Does it say a nation and a year?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, so any complaints I have about any nitpicking is automatically invalid, because it's like, well, who cares? Did they ever, between the fairy godmother and the talking mice state how, where in a realistic world all this is taking place.
The talking mice in the cartoon or the live act? Because the mice didn't talk in the live action.
You know where I'm going with that.
Yeah.
He was a talking lizard in the live action.
Honestly, the talking lizard was kind of one of my favorite. Like the line he said, it was just. I mean,
like it is the live action is half an hour longer than the classic cartoon.
Right.
But
hold on.
They just do these. Well, they just do little tiny dashes of some pizzazz here and there, and they really. Like this is one of the last times.
Something.
Oh, all right.
So, like I said in the cartoon, the characters were so two-dimensional. But in the live action, you bring them to life. You get to know them so much better. And I mean, in that one scene that we were just talking about with the lizard, like this lizard who turns into a footman, I think.
Yeah, he was a footman for a carriage.
He was a footman. Just like gives us such poignant line that I can't remember all of it right now, but just this absolutely poignant line, and he's a lizard, and it's just one of the best. Okay, maybe not one of the best, but it's just such a good line.
Hang on. I have right here a device.
Okay, yeah, look it up. But we'll come back to that in a sec once you find it. But apart from that, you get to know the prince better, and he's not just a two-dimensional pretty face. You find out what kind of guy he is. And honestly, I think one of my other favorite characters is the captain of the guard. I really like him. Oh, thank you. Yay.
In the 2015 adaptation of Cinderella, the lizard footman portrayed by Tom Eden, and honestly, the man did not have much time to work, but that man got to work. Anyway, reassures Cinderella when she expresses her fears of not belonging, saying, "And I'm only a lizard, not a footman," and advising her to enjoy it while it lasts.
And every time, that line gets me every time I see it. I just love it.
It's a simple, humble wisdom. You want upsies? Here, have some upsies with Papa. Here we go. Oh, you have as many uppies. No, you don't want uppies?
But yeah, so you get to know all of the characters just so much better, and they just have so much.
Doing bench curls with my daughter.
Okay, just so much more depth. I especially appreciate the depth with the prince because again, he's not just a pretty face. He's more. He cares about his people. He cares about the kingdom. He loves his father. He cares about Cinderella. He loves Cinderella.
Well, he's very quickly as infatuated with Cinderella because when they actually hitched up and married and such, I sure hope he better love her by then.
Oh yeah, okay,
but
that's true.
They are definitely infatuated on sight.
Right.
And given that their age is between 14, 18 each, they're absolutely at the age, and they have also both absolutely had the upbringing where they would both be that susceptible to infatuation to that degree that quickly.
Right. Oh, okay, I'm going to take us in another direction real quick, but the Wicked Stepmother also, you get to know her a little bit more, well, I don't agree with what she did at all. Like
Kate Blanchett is one of the great masters of the craft.
Yeah. I'm like...
I still don't believe she could pull off that 20-something that she tried to pay in Borderlands, but... If anyone had a shot, it was her.
Yeah, so she does a
I've got a kid latched on my head.
Hi, can you bring down the volume, please? No. I'm trying to talk over you, and I feel like it's not working very well.
Daddy, where did it go?
So, and Kate Blanchett did a fantastic job being the stepmother, and in the cartoon again.
You want to play hide and seek?
Okay.
Okay.
I'll cover
my eyes.
all you saw.
Dum, dum, dum.
It's always interesting doing these with a kid. You never know what's going to happen. But you...
Yeah, Kate Blanchett was absolutely the right choice for that role.
Yeah.
'Cause I
But-
don't think anyone else could have managed to just...
So, in the
I understood.
Yeah, in the cartoon, again, the stepmother is just wicked. You don't really get to know her. But in this, you get to know her backstory a little. You know, she married for love, had 2 daughters. They had a happy life, and then her husband died. And she had to marry again, probably for security, because...
She had 2 daughters to look after.
Exactly. And she married a man who was still in love with his first wife. So she was never,
Which
ever...
is understandable.
Oh,
Like, and
absolutely.
she absolutely was still in love with her husband.
Right.
Like you see throughout the entire movie, she is absolutely in, you know, like she's handling it as much as she can. But she is torn. She is a ghost of her former self because of the absolute agony of the grief of losing her husband. And she's just, you know, Ella's a target that can't get away.
Right. You know, she, because she marries, again, they're both married, they're both basically still married to the ghost of their former, spouses
That is a
who
very good
sadly...
way of putting that. Yeah, they're both still married, not to each other, but to the memory of the ones they lost.
Right.
And I like that.
And now she's married to this man who is never going to give her a full heart. He has this beautiful, clever daughter. She has these 2 girls who are pretty much useless.
Yeah, she has these 2 daughters.
Hey, Skish,
Can we tone it down a couple notches?
I know you're having fun, and that's great, but can you tone it down just a little bit?
Just for a little bit.
But yeah, she's got these 2 daughters who are pretty much useless in everything. They try, sort of, but they've got no real talent or,
Ella's got more talent in one hair off her head than both her daughters combined.
Exactly. And I think she's very jealous of this because she sees Ella as who she wants to be or who she wants her daughters to be.
Yeah.
And so
Ella is everything she, despite her best efforts, could never raise her daughters to become.
Right.
And it's not from lack of effort, it is because of lack of potential in the daughters. To be, you know, absolutely harsh as that is, but those daughters are more interested in ineptly scheming, schemes that would never actually work, than they are actually focusing
on making anything of themselves. Well, I mean, they'd like to be a pretty ornament for their husband, which they would love to be the prince. But
how about we retry this another time? Because Chica here has all the energy, and she is. We can just release this as an extra video because we trying, but she's trying a lot harder than both of us combined.
all right, guys, I will put this one up because honestly, I like the discussion that we did manage to have, and also she's being very cute. But we're gonna call it quits for today. We will come back and talk about some more Cinderella because honestly, there's a lot more to say.
Oh yeah.
So we will come back for another discussion. Thank you so much for
Might
watching.
be posted in the morning because we'll just wait till she is asleep and then talk then.
Yeah, honestly, that's probably a good idea. We will probably do it tonight when she's sleeping, and then we'll post it again tomorrow. But I hope you enjoyed our lovely little squishes demands for uppies and jumpies and all that good stuff. So for now, we're going to weigh anchor and take our shore leave.
And I'm going to get some protein for my biceps because this kid's putting me through the ringer.